Hey, welcome back to Drummage Props. Today I'm going to show you a really simple technique to put fluting onto your armor. It's really quite easy. What we're going to do is we're going to take this piece right here and we're going to put some fluting on it so that it ends up looking like this. I'll just show you how to do it. We need 4 simple tools. We're going to need a cold chisel that's been smoothed off so that we can put the fluting in from the backside. We're going to need a hammer to hit it with. Doesn't really matter what this hammer looks like, just as long as it's weighty enough to make a good impression. Then we're going to need a stake that we can mount vertically either in a vise or some sort of stake pocket. I've got this one, it's a crowbar that's been modified into a nice fluting stake. Also need a raising hammer. Now this hammer, we're going to use the small side today because we're making fairly small flutes, but this hammer has nice polished faces and is kind of rounded, as you can see. Okay, let's get started. We've laid out with a Sharpie where the flutes are going to end up on the back side of the material because we're going to put these flutes in from the back side. There's a groove in the edge of the stump, and this is what we're going to use to make our flute. Now I'm hitting these with a medium weight. And what you want to do is make sure that each blow overlaps the last one.
You'll notice that this technique is very similar to putting a crease into a piece of armor. The difference is that once you're finished this first pass, we're going to flip it over onto the rebaited stake and hammer directly on the outside, turning this crease into a flute.
So I've mounted the modified crowbar with the rebaited edge into the stake pocket. Now I'm going to place the flute right over top of that stake, so it's kind of balanced on there. With quite light blows, I'm going to just strike the metal and push it down so that the ridge becomes a little more pronounced. Now you can see I'm holding the hammer quite choked up. That gives me a little bit more control as I'm hammering. So you can see it's lower on this side and still quite sloped on this side. So I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to do it on the other side. We've evened it out. We've got a nice ridge that runs along, and what I'll do is I'll go back in and I'll just do some really light hammer work to get some of these hammer marks out. Thanks again for joining us. That's how easy it is to put in a basic flute. Now we just have to sand and polish this up, and send us your pictures of what you're working on. We'd love to see them.